definitely like the use of infestors here. And it looks like there is going to be an attack on this hatchery. Banshees are attacking. Banshees plus Vikings are a pretty good choice as well. Both players have fairly teched up armies right now. Infestor fungal growth on Marines is absolutely deadly. You can lock down Terran positions pretty well, especially if you can abuse these grass, these leaves here. And here comes the fungal growth right now. That all the Zerg player needs to do is back up, not attack in this position. He should just let the fungal growth do its damage, but he is attacking right now, and I think that TickTok is going to be severely overwhelmed. While those Vikings did do everything they needed, they could have done, the Marines and the siege tanks got absolutely annihilated there, and TickTok basically just has air units right now. Taking a look at what units are on the map, it is 3 Marines against the rest of this ground force. These Vikings are going to need to land. This is going to be a very difficult spot for TickTok. He does have the planetary fortress. He is going right in here trying to get those banelings in, and he got a pretty good amount of SCVs there, but the Zerg player is not really concentrating on his attack. I don't think he should be attacking this planetary fortress. Just roaches against a planetary fortress with a bunch of SCVs repairing it is basically suicide. I think he should have tried to go up this ramp, or at least secure his position a little bit better and not be such an eager beaver and try to go straight for this planetary fortress. I think that's really a dumb idea. He just threw roaches, and he's continuing to throw roaches away at his opponent. So he definitely could have done a much better job there. TickTok still is in the game, even if the Zerg player made a good decision to back off, because he does have this base right now, and they are pretty much toe to toe on expansion. TickTok does have one up, but another hatchery is coming up. Zerg player really should have just gone in, or really should have just backed off once he saw that planetary fortress and that bunker here, and realized this is really just the bottleneck position. He shouldn't be fighting there. So I thought that was a pretty dumb move by the Zerg player. He should have done something different. But a smart move by the Zerg player is that he is taking out this high yield. I would love to see a hatchery being built right now. I'm like freaking. How did I do that? That's awesome. I'm telepathic. I should join the Ghost Academy. Vikings coming down right now, and to hopefully spot or at least harass this position. I think it's going to be a harassment position. Vikings are definitely great for that, especially in late game situations like this, but great use of fungal growth. I don't think Vikings can actually go back up into airplane form while they're fungal growth. One more fungal growth is all it would take. Vikings just barely get out of there. There's not enough energy for fungal growth there. And the Zerg player is taking out the high yield. I don't think the Terran player did spot that. So, yes, he did. He did spot that high yield, so he does see that it's right there. And another planetary fortress coming in. Planetary fortress is definitely the best against Zerg, because, as you saw, roaches just get eaten away by it, and Zerglings aren't much better. So he is actually going on this planetary fortress. Might he have enough to deal with this? If he can kill the SCVs with those banelings, I think he will. Yeah, he's definitely doing the right thing. He's definitely going for those SCVs right now, and that is just getting torn away by those roaches. That is a lot of roaches. The Zerg player has complete upgrade advantage on the Terran player. TickTok has 0-0. That's really going to hurt him. At this point of the game, the Zerg player really is pretty far ahead. He is about to grab the high yield. TickTok is only on one base, and I think the Zerg player can easily re-expand right here as well. Taking a look at what is in production, still just a layer and tons of larvae spawning here. He doesn't have a lot of money, so that's pretty understandable. But he's just going to be able to grab that high yield. TickTok is sticking with the air, which I think is good. I think a lot of Banshees are definitely what he needs to get right here, and Marauders as well, because like you saw, fungal growth just isn't that great, or fungal growth is great against Marines, and he just gets completely annihilated and crowd controlled by them. Also, having that extra HP for Banelings is very useful as well. TickTok actually loading up right now. So the Zerg player looks like he's getting ready to attack. TickTok loading up. Is this going to turn into a base race, or is TickTok just going to be thrown completely off position? I don't know what the Zerg player is waiting for, but he definitely is in a good place to strike right now. He does have enough mutas to deal with medevacs, but there are actually a lot of Vikings from TickTok, so he does have his Banshees pretty well supported. He also has a Raven, so he could bring down some turrets for extra anti-air. TickTok is definitely going to drop into his base. I think TickTok is going to be able to snipe this layer. Might this turn into a base race? The Zerg player now has to decide what he wants to do. Does he want to go back and defend? I think that's exactly what he's doing. He is going to go back and defend, but he is definitely going to be losing his layer right now. And this is a really unfortunate position for the Zerg player, and not really controlling his units all that well. He is going for the Banshees right now, but there are a lot of Vikings, and they completely outrange those mutas. That is a huge roach force for TickTok to deal with, but I think he's going to have enough Banshees and Vikings to deal with the rest, so just one last remaining siege tank, but like I said, those Banshees are really a great move. And the Vikings were taken down somehow. I thought that he definitely had enough Vikings to deal with that, but he doesn't, so TickTok's tanks are going to be able to finish this layer. I think TickTok really should just retreat at this point, which is what he is trying to do. Maybe just fly in a medevac and sacrifice it, but I think that was a pretty even exchange. Looking at units lost, I think Big Larry has just made more units throughout the game because both their armies are pretty much the same size right now. TickTok is actually has a little bit larger of an army. Another command center coming in. I don't know how many minerals TickTok has thrown at this base, but he has definitely not gotten enough out of there. And they are both trying to get an expansion right now, and the hatchery is actually coming down, so that is going to be one sad command center when he sees creep flying in his base, in his little green spot there. And the rest of the Zerg army, it is Mutalisks and Infestors right now. I'm kind of curious to see what composition has changed. It's basically Roaches, Infestors, and Mutas, so I don't think that's that bad of a combo. Losing that many Banshees was definitely a big loss for TickTok. I think he should. He's gonna need to have enough anti-air to deal with those Vikings. So it's really tough. I think the Zerg player has him out compositioned because the Infestors counter the Marines pretty well, and the Marines are really all TickTok has against the Mutas. So I'm curious to see how TickTok is going to be able to deal with this, if at all. So let's honestly, as a Zerg player with Infestors, I would just be sending Zerglings across the map everywhere and trying to get fungal growth on anything. I would just be spitting that on any Terran that I saw. Because you just get one fungal growth on these Marines and you'll start draining up the energy of the medevacs. That's really crucial when the battle is lasting for over 30 seconds. And Zerg player coming in and sacrificing his Infestors, getting a couple of fungal growths off. I think TickTok is going to be able to handle this though, because he does have the Planetary Fortress. As I said, those Roaches are just beasting away on this position right now. TickTok is probably going to lose a second Planetary Fortress in this position. He does have SCVs coming in right now. Those Roaches are not killing the SCVs. Is that going to be enough? The Planetary Fortress is just barely hanging on. Those Marines are stimmed. They're on drugs, on crack, trying to kill everything here. The Planetary Fortress is just barely hanging out. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. It had about 16 life, and the Planetary Fortress is alive. That Zerg player making the same mistake again by not going for those SCVs. Remember last time he killed his Planetary Fortress, went right for the SCVs. The Planetary Fortress was so easily sniped down. In the beginning of the game, he also made the same mistake by not attacking the workers. And Baneling's coming in on the Marines. Oh, great! In the medevacs, Marines going in the medevacs. TickTok saved all of those Marines' lives. That was an amazing move by TickTok right there. He just brought all of his Marines into his dropship. I think that really secured him the game at this point. The game is almost running out. All those Marines could have died, and the Zerg player potentially could have reinforced the position and maybe saved his high yield, but that was just a great move by TickTok. He is now on one mining base with very little income. SCV party is coming in right now, and the Zerg player does have this hatchery, so both players are both now on one base, but attacking at this Planetary Fortress is not what he wants to do, and I think that's going to be GG. GG, says Big Larry. Damn. Damn indeed, Big Larry. That was a pretty epic game, I'm going to say. That last battle right there where TickTok picked up his Marines and his dropships, I cried a little bit. Not gonna lie, that was pretty amazing. So yeah, like I said, I think these players did a pretty good job overall. I would have liked to see I would have liked to see more scouting on the field. I would have liked to see more aggressive play with those infestors. One thing that you see TLO do, TLO by the way is the master of infestors. He just splurges that fungal growth everywhere. And one thing that I see him do is that he uses Burrow a lot to kind of creep around in this position. Granted, TickTok did have a Raven, so that would not have worked this time. But he sends in Zerglings or Overlords around here so he can kind of see where the units are, and then he'll try to pop up, use some fungal growth, and just kind of kite the Terran army and start draining that medevac energy. And also fungal growth works on siege tanks. Medevacs can't heal them, so makes the siege tanks, makes roaches much better against siege tanks. What I did like what the Zerg player did was that he got upgrades, he stuck with it, he got defensive upgrades, which is what he needed. He realized that against siege tanks, he definitely needed a meaty unit, and he got roaches. I would have gotten
YouTube now is a thumper.